Hello, welcome. Today I have another ink review video for you. This one's by Diamine and it's called Cool Green. So this was an interesting looking color that I had a little bit of trouble finding. So I hope it looks really cool. So let's go ahead and try a swatch real quick. Let me just clean that off. Looked like there was some lint on there. All right. There we go. All right, this is really pretty so far. Looks kind of maybe a little bit leaning on the teal side. Really, really pretty so far. A little bit extra here. There we go. All right, let's write the name. There we go. All right, this is how it's looking so far. Really pretty color. I'm going to set this under a fan to dry. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back with some copy paper. So as you know, I like to test all these inks out on copy paper because sometimes you're stuck in a situation like maybe you're at work or school and you just want to know if the ink is going to behave itself on the paper that you're using. You just want to be able to put it in a pen and take it with you and not have to worry about it. So that's what this test is for, just to see if it will cooperate. And this is copy paper. There we go. Okay, so far it looks really nice, really pretty shade of kind of, I know it says cool green, but I would say this is more like a blue green, and maybe that's where the cool is coming from. I don't know. But we'll see how it looks once it finishes drying. All right, and this is some HP 32, which of course is also copy paper, but it has a nice smooth surface, and that typically will resist the ink. And sometimes you're able to see special properties in the inks because of the smooth surface. Whoops, there we go. HP 32. And if there are any colors that you would like to see me review, just leave a suggestion, and if I have it or if I can get it, then we'll do a review video. All right, that's how it's looking so far. Really pretty teal. And then this is some HP 32 paper, and of course HP 32 paper typically will resist the ink very nicely and show off any special properties in the ink. So this is usually the best one out of the three that I test for seeing the special ink effects. If I could get my pen to, there we go. Okay. There's definitely a good side and a bad side to this pen sometimes, and I have trouble finding it. There we go. Tomo River. And if you enjoy these videos or if they're helpful to you at all, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. That way you won't miss any, and also it helps me out. All right, there we go. All right, that's how that's looking so far. I'm going to check on our swatch and see if it's dry. I'll be right back. All right, I am back, and here's how this color looks. So on the copy paper, it behaves itself really well. It's got this really nice tealish color, maybe like it's almost a mint green, but not quite. I'd say this is probably closer to a teal or a turquoise than it is to a mint. Very, very pretty shade of green. And then here's how it looks on the HP 32. So there's a couple of things. So first of all, on here, it's definitely more saturated and has a really nice rich color to it. Another thing that I noticed is that there's some shading going on. So it has like this blue-green look to it here in certain places where the ink goes down lighter, and then where it's heavier you get more of that green. Same thing you can kind of see over here a little bit where it's way over here, yep, where it's a little bit more blue wherever the ink gets laid down lighter, kind of like on these lines here. This line here is more blue because less ink was laid down. So it looks like depending on how much ink you're putting down, what kind of a nib you're using, maybe the color is going to vary between this kind of like a blue, like more blue than green, then to more green than blue. And then here's how it looks on the Tomo River paper. And then again, you can see that blue coming out here, or what appears to be blue. And then you've got this lovely like teal or turquoisey green color going on. And there's some definite halo shading here around the edges. That's really, really pretty. And then here in the writing, here's some more of that lighter color that I was talking about. You got some really nice shading. So it's like this lighter bluish color down to this more green color where it's laid down heavier. And then certain places like here and here where the ink is laid down heavier, you can see some of that halo shading that you can see up in the swatches there. Super pretty color with really nice shading in the writing. And then here's how it looks on the swatch card. So it starts out up here where it's lighter, kind of that bluish color that I was mentioning before. And then it gets more green as you go down to like this teal or turquoise shade. And then here's this where that pink or red that's making that halo shading. That makes it shading around the loops here and a little bit down here. And also in the writing, so like right here where the ink has been laid down heavier, you can see that halo effect. It's really, really pretty. So this is a really nice ink. I did have trouble finding this one, but if I can find a link for it, I'll leave it down below for you. And thank you so much for watching. You have a great day.